Bundesliga fans around the world, welcome to the Allianz Arena in Munich for the visit of Hamburg, the two oldest rivals in the history of the Bundesliga. Hamburg ever present since the Bundesliga was founded back in 1963. Bayern missed the first two seasons, but they, since gaining promotion, have always, like Hamburg, been in the Bundesliga. Great rivals, and usually a match that compares with the status of these two clubs. Bayern, of course, Germany's record champions. Hamburg, well, the last few years have not seen them enjoy too much success, but nevertheless a club with a great pedigree. It's beautiful spring weather, spring round the corner, 16 degrees, and this is the Munich lineup. Louis van Gaal, who will not be with the club at the end of the season, has made a couple of changes. Kraft stays in goal. The back four of Lahm, Van Buiten, Luis Gustavo and Pjanic. The two holding players are Kroos and Schweinsteiger. In midfield, Robben, Müller-Ribery, the lone striker, the league's leading goalscorer, Mario Gomez. The opposition. Coach Armin Fay this week also told Hamburg he would not be with them next season. He has Rost in goal. A couple of changes. Rincon at right back, Kacha, Westermann, Aogo. Yarolim returns with Roberto in a defensive role. Enis Ben Hatira brought into the side alongside El Hierro Elia in an attacking role. The two strikers, Guerrero and Petric. Dropped to the bench, therefore, for Bayern Munich are Holger Badstuber and Anatoly Timoschuk. For Hamburg, Jonathan Pietreuper is dropped along with Marcel Janssen. Both sides with plenty of quality to bring on. It's a full house once again here in the Allianz Arena. 69,000 fans packed in. They're all Bayern fans apart from a handful of faithful who've made the long journey from the far north of the Federal Republic way down to the foothills of the Bavarian Alps. The two teams led out by referee Michael Weiner, a 41-year-old police superintendent, would you believe, from Gießen in Lower Saxony. No trouble then for him this afternoon, otherwise the cuffs come out. It's his 177th Bundesliga game. An experienced FIFA official for 9 seasons now. And there are the Hamburg fans. It's conventional in Germany for 10% of the tickets to be given to the away supporters, but it's a long way. 800 plus kilometers separate the two cities. In size, numbers 2 and 3 in Germany after the capital, Berlin. The temperature a few moments ago, a very pleasant 16 degrees as always. The pitch here in the Allianz Arena, absolutely perfect. Looks like a billiard table. Congratulations to Philipp Lahm. 100 games in succession in all competitions this afternoon for him. Daniel van Buiten restored to central defence after Louis van Gaal had decided that really he had no use for the Belgian international. And what I think is a wonderful gesture, there's a moment's silence which we will observe for those who've died so tragically in the tsunami to strike Japan. And everyone in the crowd upholding the request to observe a minute's silence. So the two captains get down to business for the toss. On the left, Heiko Westermann of Hamburg. Philipp Lahm, captain not only of Bayern, but also of the German national side. The referee is assisted by Dirk Magenberg and Kai Voss. Our fourth official on the sidelines this afternoon, Mr. Christian Schössling. Michael Weiner has officiated in 16 internationals, 21 European Cup matches, and 4 years ago was also given the German Cup final. A very, very experienced official indeed. Well, it's a game that means so much to both sides. This is round 26 of the Bundesliga Championship. Only 34 games in all, so we're slowly but surely entering the home straight. Bayern, and their fans are not happy with it, are in 5th place in the table, the defending champions. The referee gets the game underway. It's the visitors who start the ball rolling. Hamburg playing in the all-blue strip from left to right in your picture. So let me just return to the precarious situation that Bayern find themselves in. Borussia Dortmund are racing away with the league championship. They have 61 points, would you believe it? That's 19 more than Bayern. So of course there's no way Bayern can retain the league title, but they have said that they must at all cost gain a Champions League spot. In Germany at the moment, it's only the top 2 who are guaranteed a place in the group phase of the Champions League. The 3rd place side goes into a playoff. Well, that 3rd spot is held by Hanover. They went down in Cologne last night. They've got 47 points, so Bayern, if they win today, move up to within 2 points of that 3rd spot. But of course what they want is the 2nd spot. The foul there was on David Jarolim, restored to the side. He spent last week's match against Mainz when Hamburg were really taken apart, certainly in the second half. They went down 4-2. Jarolim dropped for that one, but brought back today. Prenic. Van Buiten, that's Philipp Lahm. Will he mark his 100th appearance in all competitions? Consecutive appearances with a goal? Doesn't score a lot, doesn't Philipp Lahm? Got a couple this season, mind you. In fact, Philipp Lahm scored 3 times. I must correct myself. Thomas Rincon brought into the side because of the calf injury to Guy de Mel, who is normally an automatic starter for Hamburg. That's Rincon. Not exactly a good first touch from Gojko Kacha. Away comes Thomas Müller. Needs support on the right. This is Toni Kroos. Bayern Robben dancing away as we expect from the Dutchman. Trying to find Mario Gomez. He went for goal. And one of the criticisms levelled at Arjen Robben is that he gets his head down and he doesn't see people who are perhaps in a better position. Well, having told you that Bayern need 5 points to draw level with Hanover, obviously not going to get them this afternoon, and they are also 1 point behind Mainz. Mainz in 4th spot. Mainz are at home to Leverkusen, but they don't play until Sunday. So if they win today, Bayern can at least leapfrog over Mainz into 4th spot, at least overnight. Franck Ribéry. Arjen Robben. Robbed by Denis Aogo. Well, the big news this week was that Louis van Gaal will be leaving Bayern at the end of the season. A controversial figure at the best of times. Louis van Gaal, it seems, has just not only annoyed 1 or 2 people, he's a man who is very sure of his own opinions. shall we say, and he has ruffled a few feathers down here in Munich. But it's Bayern's performances of late that have really prompted the board to act. The board in the form of primarily of Uli Hoeneß, the club president, and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge, who is in charge of the Bayern football section. It's a bit of a strange configuration here down in Munich. There's the club as a whole, and then there's also the soccer section, which in itself is a limited company. And Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is the head of that. Uli Hoeneß is the head of the club as a whole. So Van Gaal, primarily because of those 3 defeats Bayern have suffered in a row in 3 different competitions, will be relieved of his duties. He'd hoped to stay until the end of next season. That will now no longer be the case. If Bayern should by any chance lose today to Hamburg, it will be the first time in 20 years almost that they have been beaten 4 times in succession. The referee playing a good advantage there. Elia looks for Petric, goes for goal himself. Good block from Philipp Lahm. Pjanic. Franck Ribéry. Pjanic. That's a great interception by Zé Roberto, who of course spent 4 years here in Munich. Petric putting in the challenge, the ball still threaded through to Arjen Robben. Elia falling back, that's not a bad ball. Just inches away from being collected by Mario Gomez. Good ball down the right, and that is excellent goalkeeping by the veteran Frank Rost. Rost, believe it or not, will be 38 years of age come June the 30th. Still one of the league's top goalkeepers though. Kachar. Westermann at the back. Rincon looks up. He was aiming for Paulo Guerrero, but really Guerrero marshalled by 2 Bayern defenders. There's Guerrero. David Yarolem. Hamburg playing with a lot of confidence, but there again, considering their record here in Munich, they have every right to. They've only been beaten once in the last 5 visits. In fact, if we take the last 8 encounters between these sides, Bayern have won only 1. And that is the worst record over an 8-game period against any side in the Bundesliga. That's Armin Fee, by the way, the Hamburg coach, who will be leaving at the end of the season. That is his decision. Van Gaal is being fired. They package it nicely, of course, saying that an agreement has been reached, but to you and me, he's been given the sack. But not Armin Fee. Although, again, I must qualify that by saying that it really was on the cards that Hamburg were unlikely to request his services for another season. It's been absolute chaos over the last couple of weeks in Hamburg. There was a meeting of the supervisory board, and they decided that the club president, Bernd Hoffmann, would not be given an opportunity to stand for re-election. His term in office runs out at the end of the year. It's not certain whether he will stay that long. Armin Fee, the coach, is going, and the man who's going to be brought in as sports director, Frank Arnesen, is still with Chelsea. Ball pulled back to Mladen Petric, and a fabulous save from Thomas Kraft. Good shot and a fine save from the young goalkeeper, whose future is not certain. Petric's shot and the save from Kraft. Thomas Kraft, he is just 20 years of age, and he was brought into the side in basically the decision was taken during the Christmas break. Let's wait for the corner headed out by Van Buiten. The decision was taken that Jörg Butt, who is on the bench, the veteran goalkeeper, along with Frank Ross, they're the two oldest keepers in the league, that Butt would be the reserve keeper and Kraft, the youngster, would be groomed to take over on a permanent basis. There's Tony Kroos, and a shot, a very weak one indeed, from Franck Ribéry. Well, in the meantime, there's been loads of speculation about Germany's national team goalkeeper. That's the shot from Petric, by the way. The national team goalkeeper Manu Neuer, who plays for Schalke, coming to join Bayern. That, of course, is not a certainty. There are a couple of Premiership clubs. It's known that Chelsea and Manchester United are both interested in Neuer. So if he does leave Schalke, it's not certain that he will come down here to Munich, where the biggest salaries far and away in the Bundesliga are paid. Pjanic down the left flank. Will Ribéry keep it in play? Doesn't quite manage to. Great effort though from the French international. The Frenchman who's now served his ban. That is Louis van Gaal. The figure on his right is his assistant coach. If things really do go pear-shaped for Bayern, then Andres Jonkers will take over. But that is taking a very negative view of things. The hope is that Bayern will be able to turn things around of their own accord. It means virtually winning nearly every game from now to the end of the season to secure that second spot, which means an assured place in the Champions League group phase. Daniel van Buiten. Pjanic. Philip Lahm. Ryan Robben, chased by Zé Roberto. There's David Yarolin. Just can't quite thread it through to Paulo Guerrero. Hamburg are 7th in the table. They're 5 points behind Bayern, and they desperately need to secure a Europa League spot next season, simply from the amount of cash involved. Foul by Van Buiten on Paulo Guerrero. Hamburg's record away from home, it's not bad. 1-5, lost 6, drawn 2. Franck Ribéry. Müller. Elia tackling back. Not a good pass from Müller, and Elia does well to capture possession. Well, it has been a very adventurous start from Hamburg. Many people thought that not having won for a couple of games, and especially after that 4-2 hammering at home by Mainz last week, that Hamburg might take a very defensive approach. Not so. Guerrero caught offside this time. Coming back to that away record of Hamburg, 5 wins, 2 draws, and that is a very, very marginal decision. Only the top 4 in the league have a better away record than Hamburg. Armin Fay, the coach, the still coach of Hamburg, might not be looking for another job as a coach in the Bundesliga. He said that he wouldn't mind going into a different field, perhaps working as a player's agent. Well, our police superintendent, referee Michael Weiner, having a very stern word with Dennis Aogo. No card though. 15 minutes gone, Bayern 0, Hamburg 0. Robben with the free kick for the home side. Oh, that's a fabulous header and an equally stupendous save from Frank Rost, the oldest keeper, certainly in the first team in the Bundesliga. Jörg Butt is just as old, almost is a year younger, in fact, almost a year younger, sitting on the Bayern bench. But he will have been very proud of his goalkeeping counterpart. That was a wonderful save. The header coming in from Mario Gomez. Robben has been shut down the last few games. Sides have wised up to his skill and especially his facility for coming inside. Gomez turns the wrong way, but the flank is up. It's interesting to know that sides now, starting with Dortmund, the last time Bayern played here in the league, they were beaten 3-1 by the league leaders Borussia Dortmund. Let's just check out the header, and especially the save. Once again, it's Gomez, and that's Rost. When Dortmund came here and won by 3-1, Ribéry and Robben were both closed down on the flanks, because not only did they have one player marking them as soon as Dortmund lost possession, Celia, just too much on it for Rincon. A Dortmund player would drop back, so either Ribéry on the left or Robben on the right always had 2 players in front of them. It was an approach copied by Schalke, who came here in the semi-final of the Cup and won by 1-0. And it was also a tactic used last week in Hanover, where Bayern went down by 3-1. A little bit of a wrestling match between Rincon and Ribéry. As Ribéry, that pass again. The idea was good, execution less. This time the flag stays down. Paulo Guerrero, still Guerrero, robbed though in the end. Good challenge. That was Luis Gustavo, the big money buy in the winter transfer window period. Luis Gustavo. Great ball through. Lance got pace, just get something on it, and Luis Gustavo does enough to avert the threat. Luis Gustavo was another figure whose treatment by Van Gaal brought a lot of criticism. In Hoffenheim, where Luis Gustavo came from, he played an outstanding and key role in front of the back 4. He comes to Munich, and where does Van Gaal pick him up first? At left back. That raised a lot of eyebrows. This is Pjanic. Ribéry. Once again, Rincon detailed to mark him. And Yarolin coming across to assist, but this is Ribéry. Well, with Yarolin coming across, that just left a little bit of space for the Frenchman. Didn't quite come off that time, the marking plan. Corner it is, just under 20 minutes played, an open game. Franck Ribéry. Daniel van Buiten's up there. Punched away by Rost. Van Buiten and Gomez might be tall, but Frank Rost himself stands 1.94 m, the Hamburg goalie. Down the line it goes, beautifully taken by Paulo Guerrero. Great, oh, that was a good chance for Guerrero, thumping his shot into the Bayern defence. That'll go. We have corner kick. Good pressure from the visitors. When these two sides met earlier in the season in Hamburg, it ended goalless. Zé Roberto had actually two spells with Bayern Munich. A man of peerless skill. It's still not certain, by the way, whether Zé Roberto will remain with Hamburg for next season. Zé Roberto incredibly turns 37 in July. Not see much of Bastian Schweinsteiger. Returns to the side today. He missed the defeat in Hanover because of the fifth yellow card he collected in the defeat by Borussia Dortmund. And there are the gentlemen, the triumvirate, to run things here in Munich. Uli Hoeneß, Karl Hopfner and Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. Van Buiten. Schweinsteiger. One of the major criticisms levelled at Louis van Gaal is that his side, they might rack up 60-65% of possession during most games, but this is not reflected in the number of shots on goal, in their actual effectiveness. Too many, far too many square balls. Sides at the top of the Bundesliga, and especially the league leaders, Borussia Dortmund, have a totally different style. Like Hanover, and to a certain extent like Leverkusen, where the idea is to bridge midfield as quickly as possible. But Bayern, still under Van Gaal at least, preferring to play a slow build-up, a possession-dominated role. And this has become more noticeable the more sides have adopted a clever defensive approach to the clearly dangerous threat from Ribéry and Robben. The idea being, stop Ribéry and Robben and you stop Bayern. Philipp Lahm. That is Arjen Robben. Two defenders on him. Robben goes down far too easily. But it's something that has been associated with him throughout his career. Luis Gustavo to Toni Kroos. Back with Bayern this season after a very successful year and a half with Leverkusen. He was on loan, and Uli Hoeneß, the Bayern president, and Jupp Heynckes, the coach in Leverkusen, are very, very close friends, and Kroos could not command a first-team spot all the time a couple of years ago, so that is why he was loaned out to Leverkusen, where Hoeneß felt he would have the best of all possible developments. And so it's been proved. Kroos now a German international with 8 caps to his credit. That wasn't a good ball though. Elia. Now a bit of space for Ribéry. Ben Hatira falling back. It's Robben. The ball cannoning into Roberto. Still Gomez. Dillis and Dallis, and is dispossessed. Now the space. Yarolin, Guerrero was moving into space. Oh, that was not the right option. This is Ben Hatira. Oh, Guerrero is absolutely furious with David Yarolin for not feeding that ball through to him, and quite rightly so. Bayern were caught open at the back. Guerrero, neat skills. Roberto. Ben Hatira. Oh, great play by Hamburg. And a stupendous tackle by Müller, but Guerrero's on hand. If Hamburg had played like this last week against Mainz, the result might not have been 2-4. The Hamburg fans, the faithful who've made the long trip, the length of the country, they must be more than happy with the way their side are playing. There were some grim faces in Hamburg last week after that emphatic defeat by Mainz. And one of those goals, one of the 2 that Hamburg got, was given to them by the referee. Ball came down off the crossbar, well in front of the line, and was given. Shot. Well covered by Frank Ross though. And that was just a taste of what Ribéry is, what Robben is capable of if you give him the space. The dummy down the right, the step inside, and that was not good defending. There were 2 players on Arjen Robben, and still, knowing full well what his predilection is for coming inside and letting loose a tremendous shot with that great left foot, he was still allowed to do so. Armin Fay will probably have a word or 2 to say about that in the half-time interval. Kaczar back to Rost. Hamburg's away form has not been too bad of late. They've lost only once on their last 5 trips. And that amounts to 10 out of 15 points. Van Buiten. It's Toni Kroos. Bastian Schweinsteiger. Daniel Pjanic. Bayern desperate for a good performance today. Not only, of course, because they've lost their last 3 games in 3 competitions, the league, and the cup. In 2 competitions rather, the league and the cup. And it could be in 3 competitions in 4 days' time, because that is when they play Inter Milan in the last 16 of the Champions League. But the Bayern fans will point out that their side won 1-0 in the away leg. Last minute goal from Mario Gomez. After Inter goalkeeper Julio Cesar failed to hold a fierce shot, the ball bobbled out 2 meters and Gomez stabbed it in. So what he means is that a goalless draw, or indeed any draw, will be sufficient for Bayern to go through to a highly lucrative quarter-final. Consummate skill from Zé Roberto. That pass though wasn't quite good enough, but Van Buiten's clearance picked up by Yarolim, who feeds El Hierro Elia. Still Elia. Benhatira trying to get his left foot shot in, blocked by Pranjic. Elia strokes it to Denis Aogo. That's a good cross. Just a little too high. If Paulo Guerrero had not cut his hair this morning, he might have got more on that one. Thomas Rincon. Up goes Petric, up goes Guerrero again. Nearly kicks Daniel Van Buiten's head off. No malice involved. He couldn't see Van Buiten coming in from behind. The ball played quickly. Thomas Müller to Ribéry. Square pass again from Bayern, but this time that was a marvellous opportunity for Thomas Müller. He should have done better. Well, Müller had the time, wasn't the easiest of chances. The little chip from Schweinsteiger. And Westermann, it must be said, was caught ball watching. That was a good chance for Bayern, the best they've had so far. 31 minutes gone, still no score. Schweinsteiger. Pranjic. Luis Gustavo to Kroos. Ian Robben. Elia once again tackling back, trying to block out the threat from his fellow countryman. Schweinsteiger climbs in. Bayern retain possession through Pranjic. His crosses are dangerous. That one dropped a little short. The ball thundered in, bounces off Zé Roberto's shoulder. Well, that's Heiko Westermann. Petric in the middle. He was going to run offside though. Taken first time. Not a bad effort from David Yarolim, the Czech international. Not the easiest of balls to take, but an impressive, swift counter-attack from Hamburg. They know that if Bayern are brittle, it's the back four that they can breach. Paulo Guerrero, he and Petric have got pace to burn. Petric is in the middle. Headed away by Pranjic. Not the best option. That ball was in the air far too long. Meat and drink to any defender. Followed by Rincon, the Venezuelan international. Now Robben mazily dribbling down the left flank. He's tried it on the right, now he's having a go on the left. Pranjic. Well, if that one goes, it'll be a throw. Throw into Hamburg. 11 minutes to go to half-time. Christian Nerlinger in our picture there. He is the manager. Bayern Munich took over from Uli Hoeneß. But who can ever hope to replace Hoeneß? The man has done so much for Bayern. Handball. The referee says it was ball going to hand and not the other way round. Bayern fans obviously disagree completely. Good defending by Luis Gustavo. Luis Gustavo in the back four. He's moved in one place from left back, but it's still not his preferred position. Schweinsteiger and Kroos are playing in the roles Luis Gustavo prefers, and indeed the roles in which he excelled in Hoffenheim. Now Gomez, great play, and what a... Oh no! Yeah, I don't believe it! I do not believe that! Well, Mario Gomez from 1 meter out hits the post. You think that this is misfortune enough, goes round the goalie and stabs against the post, but how about this miss? We don't catch it in slow motion. Surely we'll be getting another look at that. If Gomez's miss was not bad enough, the shot blasted against the crossbar was absolutely appalling. Fierce challenge coming in from Enis Ben Hatira. Maybe our backroom staff can show us the second shot on goal again that thundered against the crossbar. How Bayern are not in the lead, I just can't comprehend it. Well, that was, to call that a lucky let-off really, is massive understatement. He already leads the goal-scoring list as Mario Gomez. He's got 18 to his name already. And now that was not number 19 for a big man. He showed tremendous skill on the ball. Ribéry. Westermann giving away a corner kick. Pressure now from Bayern over the last couple of minutes. Robben flicks on against the bar, good save. Ross there flicking the ball against the crossbar. A lightning reaction from the veteran goalkeeper. Once again it was Daniel van Buiten. Outstanding goalkeeping by Frank Rost. Well, that Hamburg goal is bearing a charmed life. Here's the ball threaded around. This is the chance. Gomez steps around Westermann, steps around Rost. He comes off the post. And Müller, somehow, look how close Thomas Müller is. Thunders it against the crossbar. What a miss. Although they were both pretty horrendous, weren't they? So, Hamburg live on. It's still 0-0. 7 minutes to go to half-time. This has been excellent entertainment. But as I pointed out just after we came on air, these are the two oldest rivals in the Bundesliga. Now, Mario Gomez just chips it into Ross' hands at about 3 kilometers an hour. Once again, Gomez tries to step round Westermann, who gets a semi-block on it. Uli Hoeneß in the red and white scarf. He too cannot understand why his side are not in the lead. Because of the old rivalry between these two clubs, of course, it's not only points that are at stake, but also a tremendous amount of prestige. Since the Allianz Arena was built in 2005, Hamburg are the only club in the Bundesliga to come here twice and win. Bayern fans will not need reminding of that. Franck Ribéry. Oh, great footwork. Now this is Arjen Robben, and it is in the net. The deadlock is broken. Bayern lead 1-0. Arjen Robben with goal number 6 of the season in the Bundesliga. '40th minute of the match. Robben shows them how it can be done. And Mario Gomez, are you watching? What a release of frustration. Uli Hoeneß manages a smile. Take a picture of that. You don't see that very often. And considering the pressure that Bayern have exerted over the last 10 minutes or so, that goal, I think, well deserved. Certainly, if you look at that double goal-scoring chance. The two unmissable chances that went begging. Gomez, and seconds later, Thomas Müller. But there's no reason why Hamburg should consider changing their approach to this one. Mladen Petric, remember, was only stopped through a immaculate save from Thomas Kraft. And Hamburg have looked impressive going forward. Franck Ribéry, well anticipated by Roberto. Not enough movement up front though. Roberto forced to pass the ball back, and a couple of late tackles. There was one on Roberto which the referee let go. It was marginal, but that one really was unacceptably late. And that is precisely what the referee is telling Pranjic, who sportingly apologises to Enis Ben Hatira. There you see, crack on the ankle after the ball had gone. Hamburg must not let their heads go down. Bayern have got a tremendous record at home. They scored 31 goals now. This is their 13th home game. They've won 8 and drawn 2. They've only been beaten twice here this season. Borussia Dortmund, one of the sides to take all 3 points. They were the last visitors in the league here. And Mainz, who are 1 place above Bayern in the table at the moment, they won here by 2-1. Just over 90 seconds remain. Bayern, of course, with their tails up now. Philipp Lahm. Bayern have just scored 1 goal fewer now than Borussia Dortmund and Bayer Leverkusen. Dortmund this afternoon, they are away to Hoffenheim and going for what would be a record 12th away win in the Bundesliga in one season. We are into the final minutes of what has been so far an absolutely thrilling game. Ribéry. Well, Tomasz Rincon furious. I got the ball, referee says. Yes. Well, there was the tug on the arm actually that pulled Ribéry back, enabling Rincon to grab the ball. He's been spun to twice now by the referee. I think that will be the last time. Possibly also the last attack of the first half. Ribéry, but punched away comfortably by Frank Rost, who's fouled in the process. No indication yet that we are to have any time added on by our fourth official, Mr. Christian Schörsling. Here's the goal. Ribéry looks up as we hear the whistle go to bring 45 minutes of superb entertainment to a close. Louis van Gaal manages at least half a smile as Robin complains to the referee about something or other. I don't know why. And quite honestly, Robin should be quite delighted because he has put Bayern Munich in the lead 5 minutes before the break. It's that close. Bayern Munich 1, Hamburg 0. Join me again after the break.
Schöne Chance jetzt hier aufs Grün ausgewählt. Dankeschön, wir, unser Energiepartner. Danke für diesen schönen Geist. So, dann schauen wir uns das kurz an. Jetzt, in wenigen Sekunden kommt die Mannschaft wieder raus an die Seite. Seit der Halbzeit hier sind wir vorbei. Ich sehe eine tolle Parade von Thomas Kraft nach diesem Schuss von Jan. Das ist natürlich eingegeben. Hochbrisante Szene, viele Chancen, die unsere Mannschaft ausgearbeitet hat in der ersten Halbzeit. Und Frank Rost, alle Hände voll zu tun.
Welcome back to the second half of our commentary match, which this afternoon comes to you from the Allianz Arena in Munich. I'm Alan Fountain, and the half-time score, if you joined us a little late, and if you did, you've missed a lot of Super Soccer. It's Bayern Munich 1, Arjen Robben scoring on 40 minutes, Hamburg 0. Well, what has Armin Fee, the Hamburg coach, had to say to his side in the half-time interval? I'm certain that there was quite a lot of praise involved, because Hamburg have certainly not come here to defend. They've taken a very positive attacking approach, but it's Bayern Munich who've been creating the chances. Mario Gomez about to get the second half underway, and I wonder what Louis van Gaal had to say about that miss from Gomez. Well, it wasn't only Gomez, was it? It was a double boo-boo. The ball coming back off the post and Thomas Müller blasting it against the aluminium. Otherwise it would have been 2-0 for Bayern. Hamburg in the blue, playing from right to left in your picture. Referee Weiner could possibly have allowed play to continue. There was a distinct advantage. Strange that, and I think that is, I think we said, I saw the word sorry on referee Michael Weiner's lips there. Arjen Robben was about to bear down on that Hamburg goal yet again. Trying to blast another missile past Frank Rost, as he did 5 minutes before the break. Is Robben going to go for goal himself? Chips it over. Oh, yes! Now that has got to go down as a goalkeeping error. Nobody got anything on it. It is Arjen Robben who gets his second goal of the afternoon. And what a disastrous start for Hamburg. Frank Rost obviously put off because he thinks Gomez could get something on it. Realises that he's not and goes down at the last minute, and the ball bouncing wickedly in front of the Hamburg goalkeeper. There was not a touch from Gomez. It was Robben's goal all the way. Tulits from Amsterdam, that's what they always play down here when Arjen Robben scores. Need I mention that he's a seasoned Dutch international? Well, that ball bouncing a little tantalisingly for Frank Ribéry. Once again, clipped over the wall, and undoubtedly Rost had to remain where he was just in case Gomez got something on it. He didn't, and then it was too late for the goalkeeper. Goals 6 and 7 for Robben this afternoon. Well, Van Gaal is now well on his way to what would be his side's first victory in 3 games, 2 in the league and 1 in the cup, a vital one in the cup, the semi-final. Bayern, remember, are the cup holders. They did the double last season. Elia, not the best of first touches. Denis Aogo, oh, that one fizzed across the laces of Paulo Guerreiro's boot. Once again, the ball turned to Aogo, and Van Buiten, I think, just got a deflection on that. The referee hasn't given a corner, but if so, it was the slightest of touches, and I think it might just have sent the ball centimetres from its original direction, but enough to avoid the boot of Paulo Guerreiro. Ruud van Nistelrooy, another Dutch superstar, warming up for Hamburg. One of the criticisms, another of the criticisms, I already mentioned a few, another of the criticisms levelled at Louis van Gaal was the fact that he got rid of his captain, Mark van Bommel, seasoned international, a key figure in the Dutch national side, but Louis van Gaal said he had no further use for him. And off Mark van Bommel went to play for Milan in Serie A. Good footwork by Benatere, a little tug on Schweinsteiger's arm, spotted by the eagle-eyed referee. Van Buiten, Luis Gustavo, Pranjic, Westerman with interception. Hamburg now being compelled to force the pace. It really was the last thing they wanted, to concede a second goal. Bad enough at any stage of the game, but in the first minute of the second half, psychologically, and a real blow to the side. Frank Rost quickly off his line. I mentioned that Hamburg had only lost against Bayern once in the last 8 games. Well, that loss was the last time they came here. They went down by a goal to 0. Now it's 2-0 for Bayern. remember, are 7th in the table. They're 2 points behind 6th place Nuremberg and 5 behind 5th place Bayern Munich. Places 4 and 5 in the Bundesliga guarantee a place in the Europa League the following season. Yarolim. Zé Roberto. Rincon. Van Buiten heads it backwards straight to Petric, who finds Elia. It's a crowded penalty area though. Rincon once more. Well, was that a shot or a cross? Hard to tell really. Armin Fay, Hamburg's 9th coach in 10 years, and he's going. So no matter who replaces him, it's going to be 10 coaches in 11 years, which I think tells you a great deal about the atmosphere in Hamburg. Wonderfully chested down. Oh, that should have been the hat-trick. Arjen Robben, he's furious with himself. Hamburg caught flat at the back. Müller to Robben, as you saw there, he got underneath it and also scuffs it slightly with the side of his boot. Bayern's goal difference is plus 18. If you look at the sides above them, Mainz have plus 9, and Hanover, after their 4-0 trouncing yesterday in Cologne, they also have plus 9. Mainz do not play until tomorrow. They're at home to Leverkusen. Nuremberg at half-time were drawing 1-1 in Wolfsburg. Ribéry, lovely footwork, the ball's still in play, trying to find Gomez. Yarolim for Hamburg. Obviously, as Hamburg chase the game, they've no alternative. There are going to be bigger and bigger spaces opening up at the back for Bayern. Ribéry once again, he's got Robben with him. Arjen Robben, it's a hat-trick! And it's the end for Hamburg. Nothing at all Frank Ross could do about that one. 55th minute, Arjen Robben grabs his 8th of the season, his 3rd of the afternoon. Fabulous ball down the left. Ribéry keeps his cool, pulls it back. Robben, well, what was Zé Roberto doing? He's got his back to the Dutchman. That is no way to defend. Look at number 8, Zé Roberto. Out of picture now, but he just simply turned his back on Arjen Robben. And so once again we listen to the tulips from Amsterdam. The Bayern fans wouldn't mind that being played a couple more times, I can tell you. Only 10 minutes plus a few seconds more into the second half, and Bayern are now firmly in the driving seat. It's all about saving face now for the side from the far north of Germany. It's been argued for so long in the press, how much Arjen Robben is worth to Bayern. Well, he missed the first half of the season through an injury sustained at the World Cup. It caused a lot of bad blood between Bayern and the Dutch Football Association, because Bayern said he should never have been played in the final against Spain. Van Buiten giving away a corner kick. What happened that apparently when Van Buiten came back for the World Cup, he had a muscle tear in his thigh, which, if you believe reports, was about 5 centimetres long. That is why it took Robben virtually half a year to recover. Corner for Hamburg, headed out indeed by Mario Gomez. Flags up for offside. And the outcome of the spat between Bayern and the Dutch FA was that Holland will next season play a friendly here in Munich. And I think the proceeds from that are going to go to a charity. Bayern wanted compensation, and now agreement has actually been reached. Robben. This is Müller, too close to goalkeeper Frank Rost. Wasted opportunity that. There was space for Müller to put in a proper pass to Gomez. Just overstruck it slightly. Well, are we going to see a substitution by the Hamburg coach? We're slowly but surely coming up to the 1 hour mark, less than 90 seconds to go, which is usually around the time that substitutions are made. 2 players who were dropped to the bench were Jonathan Petrojpa and Marcel Janssen. Petrojpa very much an attacking player. Petric has been a little off colour this afternoon. He did have that one fierce shot that produced a great save from Thomas Kraft. But apart from that, we've not seen a great deal from the Croatian international. Maybe he might be the man to go. Foul by Rincon on Bastian Schweinsteiger. We've had an hour of play. 3 goals, 2. The Bayern fans, after the disappointments of the last couple of weeks, they'd like to see quite a few more goals. Robben just waited a little too long, allowed Roberto to nip in and dispossess him. Late tackle, very late tackle from Van Buiten, almost seemed like he couldn't stop. But once again, the referee deciding that a word in Van Buiten's shell-like ear is enough. It has been a very fair game, I must say. Credit to both sides. And Bayern themselves are well known for being, season after season, one of the fairest teams in the Bundesliga. So far this season, they've been shown the least number of yellow cards, 28. And, by the way, they've also committed the lowest number of fouls. This is Denis Aogo. rides the challenge. Wonderful opportunity. Oh, what a save from Kraft, from Enis Ben Hatira. Hamburg should really have pulled one back from that situation. Hatira again. Guerrero beaten by Lahm. Great save from young Thomas Kraft. He came in for a whole bucket full of criticism last week. Hanover's third goal was his fault. It was a long shot that was not hit with too much power, and Kraft allowed it to bend his hands back and really slip through his gloves into the back of the net. But he certainly made up for that gaff this afternoon. Warming up on the touchline, we just saw Marcel Janssen, who could be brought on to play an attacking role on the left side of midfield. I'll go with the throw. Gomez. Petric feeding it wide. Ben Hatira. Elia. Zé Roberto. Yarolim. Hamburg giving the ball away far too easily now. Ribéry has got pace, tremendous pace, and an eye for goal. 4-0. Well, that is precisely what the pundits have wanted to see from Bayern. Forget the 65% possession and a minimal number of shots on goal. Bridge midfield. That is the way Dortmund have been doing it. Hanover, Ribéry shows the way. An immaculate strike. 4-0. And Hamburg now are on the end of a thrashing. Goal number 3 for Franck Ribéry. 64th minute. He just left Gojko Kacar for dead. It was a loss of possession in midfield, and Bayern bridged the distance to the goal at a speed that we've rarely seen this season. Hamburg are absolutely bemused. 4 goals they conceded last week at home to Mainz. 4 goals they've let in so far against Bayern this Saturday. And the first yellow card, certainly born of frustration, shown to Paulo Guerrero, Peruvian international. But nobody can say that referee Michael Weiner, who's handled this one superbly, has not gone out of his way to talk to players instead of flashing cards. Well, Marcel Janssen replaces Enis Ben Hatira. Maybe Elia will switch sides, because Janssen is most definitely a left-footed player. Marcel Janssen, wearing number 7, has played 36 times for the German national side. Luis Gustavo leaves the action to be replaced by a young man who's been sadly out of form in recent weeks, Holger Badstuber. Oh, that one was headed straight into the arms of Frank Rost. It could so easily have been goal number 5. Mario Gomez must be wondering what he's got to do to get goal number 19 this season. Holger Bartstuber, also a young man who burst onto the scene last season and became a German international. He's played 8 times for his country, but as I mentioned, over the last couple of weeks his form has deserted him, and maybe he's been brought on today. This game is clearly in the bag, and I think Louis van Gaal is engaging in just a little bit of psychological build-up work. Hamburg about to make another substitution. This time it's Robert Tescher wearing number 13. Off comes Paulo Guerrero. I don't think that Armin Fay, the Hamburg coach, wishes to risk a second bookable offence, which means an automatic red card for Guerrero. So perhaps as a prophylactic measure he's brought off, and Robert Tescher replaces him. Never really been able to make a first team spot his own, has Tescher. He came in June 2009, and so he's been in Hamburg almost 2 years, but in that time has not been able to make an impact on the first team squad. Spent most of his time on the bench. Selected 3 times for the first team, Robert Tescher. This is his 8th appearance in all. Well, Hamburg have got to be so careful now that they just don't simply fall apart. Thoughts of Tuesday evening. That is why Arjen Robben is being taken off. He is the jewel in the Munich crown. They need him to play against Inter Milan. Remember, the Champions League champions. They come here on Tuesday evening in 4 days' time, and there's no way Van Gaal, with his side 4-0 up against Hamburg, he's going to risk his star player being injured in the run-up to the most important game of the season for Bayern. So Hamit Altintop is brought on. Altintop wearing number 8. He's chalked up a massive 63 caps for Turkey, born and bred in Germany, but opting to play for the country of his parents' birth. 28 years of age now, Hamit Altintop. His twin brother plays for Frankfurt. Less than 20 minutes to go. And Hamburg will not need remembering of their highest defeat here. I was in the stadium many years ago, actually as a spectator. It was 1988. In Hamburg, it was in the old Olympic Stadium, which was Bayern's home up until 2005, after the Olympic Games from 72 to 2005, and on that occasion Hamburg were absolutely filleted to the tune of 6-0. Well, everybody's getting a game for Bayern this afternoon. Even Miroslav Klose is about to join the action. Gomez has had a luckless afternoon. And it's going to be Miroslav Klose's brought on, and he will certainly, well, almost certainly replace Mario Gomez. Gomez, a wry smile flits across his face. He knows he's had a couple of golden opportunities to increase his tally. He's still the league's leading goal scorer with 18, but he's replaced by number 18, Miroslav Klose. 106 caps for the German national side, 59 goals. That is well more than one goal every 2 games for Miro Klose, but this season he has not been favoured. Klose has only appeared in the starting lineup 6 times, and this, remember, is match day 26, Klose's 12th appearance. And amazingly, he's only scored 1 goal so far this season. Really, another hammering is the last thing that Hamburg needed. They explain how their president, Bernd Hoffmann, will not be standing for re-election. He's been prevented from standing for re-election. Well, Frank Arneson, the manager, doesn't come until the end of the season, and now the coach, Armin Fay, has handed in his resignation. Müller. And of course, the dire situation Hamburg find themselves in with regard to management is that 8 contracts expire. This is Lahm, that'll be a corner. 8 contracts expire this season, and the contracts of a further 8 players run out at the end of next season. So really, this is a crucial time when talk should be going on about whether vital players are going to be staying with Hamburg. But at the moment, there's nobody there to lead them. Elia, harried by Schweinsteiger, but the ball staying in Hamburg's possession. Rincon to Robert Tescher. The Bayern fans in finer voice than they've been in for quite a while. Denis Aogo. Tescher. Westermann to Aogo. Zé Roberto. Elia just about manages to keep it in play. Foul by Elia. Well, Bayern, that's Pranjic who's injured. Bayern have shown more spirit this afternoon than they have for several weeks. Maybe there's a little bit of psychological pressure that's been lifted through the news that Van Gaal is leaving. A fair number of players, if we are to believe what we read in the press. Not always a good move, but the press don't always get it wrong. Indications are that quite a few players have actually turned their back, certainly in mental terms, on Louis van Gaal, that they no longer felt motivated. And maybe the news that the Dutchman is going in a couple of months' time has liberated quite a few players, that they're no longer performing under a cloud. On the other hand, Somebody who needs a wheelbarrow to take his cash to the bank shouldn't really need motivating. First touch for Altintop. Schweinsteiger inside. Or rather out to, that was Kroos to Schweinsteiger. This is Badstuber. Müller dispossessed, wants a free kick, doesn't get one. Janssen inside to Tescher. Yarolim. Referee looks over his shoulder for a moment to see what was going on behind his back. Tescher. Aogo. Tescher. Neat ball. Yarolim can't get his shot in. Oh, a crunching tackle coming in from Schweinsteiger. The flag stays down. Petric. Corner kick. A late flourish from Hamburg. Daniel Pranic back on the park. He's not exactly running smoothly. Chacha can't get anything on it. Marcel Janssen slicked away by Van Buiten. Now acres of space. Ribéry, he's got support in the form of Altintop. Müller's on Altintop's left. Thomas Müller, number 5. And once again, a lightning counter-attack. Oh, Bayern, why have you not been playing like that earlier this season? A goal, almost a replica in style of the 4th goal we saw from Frank Ribéry. This time, Thomas Müller. That is Müller's 9th goal of the season. Frank Rost complains at his defence, but Hamburg really had no alternative but to push men up. Of course you leave acres of space at the back and the ball is lost in midfield and you're staring down the barrel of a gun. Like that. That was a good challenge from Toni Kroos. Altintop. Can he get it to Kroos? Oh, what a terrible ball. Appalling. Dear, oh dear, what was Altintop thinking of? He glowers at Kroos as though it was his fault. Should have had the ball a long time before, should Toni Kroos. That was Altintop's error. 10 minutes to go. Bayern leading 5-0. Can they emulate that scoreline? The heaviest defeat Hamburg have suffered in the Bavarian capital way back in 1988. 23 years ago. Less than 10 minutes to go. How glad Hamburg will be to hear the final whistle. Badstuber. Van Buiten to Lahm. Pranic seems to have overcome that knock that he took in the challenge from Eliedo Elia. Altintop to Lahm. Schweinsteiger. Ribéry. Badstuber. Well, Bayern are playing possession football now, but nobody's complaining with 5 goals in the bag already. Flags up, offside. Out in top to Müller. Müller looks up, picks his spot, and Bayern score their 5th. And it all started so brightly for Hamburg. In fact, they could almost have taken the lead with that effort from Petric, which brought the first great save from Thomas Kraft. Well, Petric trying to go through a wall of Bayern defenders on his own. Frank Rost, I think, making a meal of that challenge from Klose. Miro Klose is not a dirty player. He flicked at the ball. Couldn't get anything on it. Made contact with Rost's leg, but I think Frank Rost will be more than glad to use up a few more seconds. Klose has shown the yellow card. But he was actually going for the ball. It was a clumsy challenge. He has no problem with the yellow card. Six minutes for Bayern to equal their best ever result against Hamburg. Ribéry. Schweinsteiger. Pjanic. Great running off the ball by Ribéry. There's no one to pass to, goes down the touchline. Oh, it's an own goal! It is 6! Heiko Westermann manages to smile. Oh, but in his heart he must be weeping. It's an own goal, but just look at the way Ribéry dances down the line like a ballet dancer. Goes round Kacha. And there the ball comes off Westermann's right boot. Wonderful control. Absolutely magnificent from Franck Ribéry. He's had a great game this afternoon. So it is 6 after all. Westermann with an own goal on 85 minutes. Through his hat-trick, Arjen Robben has got to be the man of the match. But Franck Ribéry, certainly in the second half, has shown that he is right up alongside Robben on that pedestal of the superstars. Bayern still haven't had enough. The flag stays down, but referee Weiner spotting an offence. Well, in fact, it was a belated flag. This is an indirect free kick. Rust in no hurry to get the ball back in play. 3.5 minutes, but remember, we have had 5 substitutions, working on the basis of 30 seconds of substitution. That's another 2.5 minutes. The Hamburg fans, they'll want to get back to the airport or the railway station as fast as possible to put this nightmare behind them. Klose turns it inside, and a good tackle from Heiko Westermann. Philip Lahm must be feeling absolutely weary. What a way to celebrate your 100th consecutive game in all competitions with a 6-0 victory. But I wonder how Louis van Gaal is feeling. So much resistance to him, not only in the boardroom but also in the changing room. 3 successive defeats before today for Bayern, and then the news broadcast earlier in the week that his contract would not be fulfilled. Relief amongst the players, certainly amongst a substantial number of them, that manifests itself in a fulminating second half performance and a victory. At the moment that looks like 6-0, but who knows, maybe we might be seeing a 7th. It will certainly give Van Gaal plenty to think about. Dismal performances, resignation, a star-studded second half. Hamburg must be wondering just how the wheels came off, but it certainly had so much to do with that second Arjen Robben goal. Only 1 minute into the second half. Hamburg were absolutely stunned, and when Robben finished his hat-trick, completed his hat-trick on 55 minutes, well, the game was all over, and Hamburg then just simply started to fall apart. Ribéry on 64 minutes, Müller on 79, and just 4 minutes ago, Westermann with an own goal, pressured into it through a remarkable run from Franck Ribéry. Will the 4th official, Christian Schüssling, add time on, or will he take pity on Hamburg and allow the referee to end this in 20 seconds time? Aogo. No indication yet. And in actual fact, it just goes to show that there are some kind souls even in the commercial world of professional football. Not a second added on. The 4th official, Christian Schüssling, taking total pity on Hamburg, who have been completely dominated throughout the second half. At least it was pretty much even Stevens in the first, but really with that Arjen Robben goal on 46 minutes, the floodgates opened. Bayern are back. Inter Milan will certainly not now at least be relishing the thought of coming here on Tuesday 1-0 down as they are. David Yarolim, the rest of the Hamburg side, looking completely crushed, as indeed they have been in the second 45 minutes of this game. Hamburg, chaos in the boardroom and very much chaos on the park. As for Bayern, well, the clouds look like they could well be parting and the sunshine coming out. Arjen Robben, for one, absolutely delighted. It's been a highly interesting game. Great entertainment in the first half. In the second half, totally dismal if you're a Hamburg fan. Champagne stuff if you are supporting the defending champions, whichever camp you're in, or even if you're just neutral. From me, Alan Fountain, hope you enjoyed this afternoon's game. Do join us again soon. From me in the Allianz Arena. If you didn't believe it, let me tell you for the last time, it finished Bayern Munich 6, Hamburg 0.
Wir sind die Reise, was Hamburg, die 14 als sehr eng lassen, gute Heimat.